Since Todd asked, I figured I'd do an update. This is the garden. This is the rose mallow my dad had planted a while ago. This season I moved it. It was more all spread out, a bunch of them through the center. I moved them all to this one spot. It regularly needs dressing of systemic pesticide, imidacloprid, which is a nicotine family pesticide, because it gets infested with hibiscus sawfly. This is Akebia up on this trellis. In the back here, these loby, like round leaves. That's a wild grape that's growing on top of it. This thing will never die. This thing is so aggressive, and it tries to spread around. I don't much care for it anymore. I had read that it makes flowers and fruits, but it's so far not made any fruit, and the flowers don't smell particularly... They're supposed to smell good, but they don't. I'm trying to make a fast video. The soil is super degraded. It's been years and years. It's basically muck now. It doesn't help that the... I think the sprinkler always goes on in the back, so there's always too much water. This absorbs and holds way too much water. My dad planted the herbs, the basil, tarragon, oregano, rosemary. I planted the lemon balm. That's lemon balm there. These are mustard greens. The bugs are eating these, even though they're mustard greens, because they're not very spicy mustard greens. Normally spicy mustard greens bugs wouldn't want to eat. I'm fond of this guy. I like this guy, the Malabar spinach. I have climbing up here. That's just a leafy green that's supposed to be like a substitute for spinach in the summer. It's like a tropical plant, so it handles the heat, you know, where spinach would not do well. I've got the hyacinth bean growing. This is going to be beautiful when it blooms, both the pods and the flowers. We've got this little borage here. Is barely growing. He should be a lot taller, even though it's not been very long. It should be taller. This is the problem. Everything gets waterlogged and everything. It's very waterlogged. It's castor bean in the back. It grew, and then I feel like it stopped growing after that point. These nasturtiums, they're too small. They're meant to climb up the trellis, but they've also stopped growing essentially. So yeah, the garden's not in great condition. It really needs to be overhauled. This is all super. It's like 20-year-old compost. It's basically turned into the finest muck. It's just an organic-based muck, but just because it's organic doesn't mean there's no worms left. You dig it up, the worms are gone, whereas it used to be full of worms, because all the organics have completely broken down. There's just no nutrition. I tested it. Nutrition's basically gone. That's cup and saucer vine. That's also doing very slowly. What else did I put in here? The cardinal climbers are doing good, but there's only like 2 vines each. And then I think one is cardinal climber and one is like, that's cypress vine and that's cardinal climber. Like, they're different. They get mixed in together because I just grow them together anyway. They're very similar. They're related plants. They'll make little red flowers. I think my plan is to get rid of the fence and just use this whole garden just for flowers. Because one of these days, crawling in and out, I'm going to either break my foot again or smash my head trying to navigate over these field stones and this fence. So I'm just going to get rid of the fence. I just need I need to add a lot of organic and maybe some manure for fertility. But definitely need a lot. I'm just going to get mulch. Luckily, Closter has hyacinth bean. It's pretty the way that the little thingies twist. Yeah, I don't know. There's a cup and saucer vine. Cup and saucer vine is supposed to be very pretty when it flowers. I like this Malabar spinach. Let's get size comparison. There's my hand. I just sprayed this. I shouldn't touch the plants too much. I sprayed the other day malathion pesticide because the bugs keep coming. But you can see it's not even growing. Like there's patches where even the weeds aren't even growing. And these weeds wouldn't even grow by themselves until I started fertilizing it. That's how bad it is. I mean, honestly, it's really bad, the soil. There is an elephant ear, get over here, that I planted. Oh my God, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna die one of these days doing this. There, this elephant ear refuses to sprout. You know it's bad when you plant a big fat bulb full of its own energy that it should sprout and grow like crazy, will refuse to even grow. This is a problem. The soil is really degraded. These rose mallows are going to be pretty when they bloom. I'm going to go to the bloom on the other end of the property. At the other end in the same area. See, this is, I mean, this is not my garden at this point. Oh, it bloomed and then it disappeared. You can see it's a red bloom. Why is everything falling over? This is another thing. I guess it rained so hard they grew too fast. Yeah, the bloom is like going like this. But this is basically what those rose mallows are. This is also rose mallow. I also have to spray this. I mean, drop the pesticide on this because the certain fly is endemic. It sits in there and it lives there every year. I love my dad's canna lilies. These grow here by themselves every year. Even though it's like tropical, subtropical, somehow this spot, the roots don't freeze. Again, this is not my garden. Garden's way over there. You can see from here. Whoa. Yeah, that's... What else to look at? Back at the garden, hyacinth bean borage is gonna... You can see it looks like it's gonna bloom soon, but it's like, though it's super leggy the way it came out, which is a consistent problem I have. Same thing happens with the mustard, because I can't control the water levels. It's just always wet. It didn't rain. It rained yesterday. It's still wet. Like, it just stays wet because it's just clumpy muck. It's like this. It's like snow. You squish it, it holds together because it's compost completely broken down. Rosemary. What can I say? What else? You can see the tips there of the hyacinth bean are gonna start blooming. You can eat every part of this plant, and people get confused and say it's semi-poisonous. It's not. Every part of it is basically completely edible from the get-go. You don't have to cook it even. The pods are purple, they're pretty. The flowers are purple, they're pretty. What else we got? Castor bean is about waist high. Yo! I don't know. Oof, I'm going right here where we sprayed. That was 2 days ago. Alright, I'll stop now.